These are your contenders for the women's balance beam title in Osijek. The top performer in qualification, Croatia's own Tina Zelcic, real balance beam specialist, and they are excited, hugely excited to see not just her, but Christina Zwicker, who was the third best in qualification.
The first finalist representing Australia, Godwin.
Sixth best in qualification, Godwin of Australia. Silver medalist on beam at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham last summer.
The second finalist representing Croatia, Tina Zelcic.
Tina Zelcic of Croatia, the gymnast who won a silver medal in Varna for her first international honours. This is her 11th World Cup event. Can she go even further and take the title? She's the top qualifier.
Finalist representing Hungary, Nikolett Szilagyi.
Nikolett Szilagyi of Hungary, the 7th best in qualification, the 17-year-old who celebrated her birthday by competing in the balance beam final at the Paris World Challenge Cup last year.
The fourth finalist representing Slovakia, Barbora Mokosova.
Barbora Mokosova of Slovakia, 5th best in qualification, and the gymnast who won yet another uneven bars medal yesterday.
Peta finalistica, predstavnica Velike Britanije. The fifth finalist representing Great Britain, Poppy Stickler.
Cardiff's Poppy Stickler, the Welsh champion and a member of the British team, and the 4th best in qualification, a contender for a medal, no doubt.
The sixth finalist representing Croatia, Christina Zwicker.
Croatia's Christina Zwicker, the 3rd best in the preliminary round. A World Cup champion from Sombate in 2020. Could be a very good final this for the Croatian fans.
Sedma finalistica, predstavnica Nizozemske. The 7th finalist representing the Netherlands, Naomi Visser.
Second best in qualification with a score of 12.733, Naomi Visser, who won the uneven bars title yesterday with a wonderful display. She is the Dutch champion on the beam.
The 8th finalistica, predstavnica Austrije. The 8th finalist representing Austria, Elisa Hämmerle.
Well, how wonderful to see Elisa Hämmerle of Austria back in international competition. The first time since the Olympiad. The 27-year-old who put to rest the unfinished business of missing the Rio Olympics due to injury when she made it to Tokyo. Brilliant display of resilience from Elisa Hämmerle, and she's back now over a decade after her first World Cup event, which was in March of 2012 in Cottbus, Germany. So those are your 8 contenders. The reserve gymnasts, first reserve, Clara Raposo of Canada. We'll see her on floor in a couple of events' time.
A sad ajmo pokazati da smo dobri domaćini za početak, pljesak za sve finalistice.
So the touch warm-ups are to get underway. In the first half of the competition, we'll see Tina Zelcic, the top qualifier. But there isn't a great deal separating the entire field based on the preliminary round marks. And Godwin is somebody who, as the 6th best in qualification, but with an execution score of 6.7, has got the numbers to move up enormously. Highest qualifying mark 12.866, lowest qualifying mark just 0.5 lower, so half a mark separating the entire field when you factor in just how easily tenths are lost in a balance beam competition. think it's safe to say we don't really know too much at the moment. But certainly from a difficulty standpoint, Georgia Godwin, if she stays on the apparatus, could run away with it. Things have gone right and not so right of late on balance beam for her. It's been a slightly mixed bag, but she's capable of phenomenal performances on the apparatus. Well, she's capable of phenomenal performances on anything because it is Georgia Godwin.
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, last 10 seconds.
A u tih zadnjih 10 sekundi, ajde još jedan veliki pljesak za sve njih.
Izagijavanje je završeno. Molimo da nastavite s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please continue the competition.
Georgia Godwin from Australia, 6th best in qualification.
Će nastupiti predstavnica Australije. The first finalist representing Australia, Georgia Godwin.
She's not just an outstanding athlete, she's not just an outstanding leader in the sport, she's somebody with an extraordinarily good mentality. Very nice mount going into the free walkover. Side somersault well executed. This is a strong start. Handspring layout, step out. Side aerial as good as the side somi. Now to the big wolf turns. Job done. Oh, what a lovely double pike to dismount. That's a cracking routine from Georgia Godwin. And quite frankly, an entirely justified reaction from the 26-year-old. That was marvellous gymnastics. That is how to start a beam final and put the rest of the field on advanced warning. But frankly, from the moment she started, it looked like it was going to be great. Sometimes balance beam routines are deceptive. Sometimes everything that's been going terrifically suddenly just grinds to a halt. But you didn't really feel that was going to happen here, I suspect, with Georgia Godwin.
Ponovimo još jednom, dakle greda je dugačka, ali je široka samo 10 cm.
Tako je, široka je 10 cm i stoji puno rada i
automatike sa samog pada se to prenijelo gore na gredu. Georgia Godwin of Australia.
Gimnastičarke moraju odraditi da bi to bilo automatizirano.
Osim što, evo, čuli ste Georgia, fantastična gimnastičarka.
12.6 in qualification, 13.9 here. And just to give you a sense of that number, that would, at the last World Championships, have won the title by almost a third of a mark. That's how good that was.
Representing Croatia, zelcic.
We've just seen a world title winning display on beam from Georgia Godwin. Now to the top qualifier, Tina Zelcic of Croatia, 12.866. Her routine was beautifully executed in qualification, not anything like the difficulty of Godwin, but very tidily performed. Oh, just a little need for stability, but she's okay. Good performance from Tina Zelcic of Croatia. One sizable adjustment, but other than that, it was really secure. True specialist on the apparatus, you can see why. Looks very comfortable on it. She's been the national champion. She actually trains at the same club as Christina Zwicker, who's performing later in this final. Both of them based in Zagreb.
Idemo još jednom veliki pljesak za Tinu Zelcic.
Twisted round really nicely into that dismount, well controlled. .666. So the only change, 2/10 lower from an execution standpoint for Zelcic. Now we look at Nikolett Szilagyi from Hungary. She competed in Tel Aviv last week. Seventh best in qualification with a score of 12.466. Keeping a nice straight line on the apparatus. No real wobbles. And the back handspring layout step out was emphatic. Oh, what a nice side aerial. Oh, unfortunate. I thought that she had managed to rescue the wolf turns. Certainly didn't complete what she was intending to and ended up perhaps over-correcting the adjustment. Very nice landing though from Nikolett Szilagyi. The bulk of it, a very good routine. She's competed at 2 World Championships. everything, really, with the exception of the wolf turns, was pretty on the money. She was fine when working the length of the apparatus. It was the wolf turns that really were the undoing. Nicely controlled mount.
Koliko je važno, čuli smo za neke druge sprave da je vrlo bitno proći cijele, dakle morate proći od jedne strane do druge. Ista je situacija...
The hand nearly went down in the first instance. It was marginal. Double tuck to finish.
Vidjeli smo dosta i tih plesnih elemenata, koliko oni utječu na ocjenu.
Počeli su jako utjecati na ocjenu, zato što jednostavno nakon dobila sam posebno još pitan za artističnost i jako je važno da je vježba prilagođena građi, da ima jedan ritam, da ima jedne amplitude i to je danas dosta bitno u ovom olimpijskom ciklusu.
Inače, Nikolett sudjelovala je na svjetskom prvenstvu u Liverpoolu prošle godine i u Japanu. Je 2 godine, a rođena je 2005. u Mađarskoj. Pozdravite jednim velikim pljeskom.
12 the score for the Hungarian Nikolett Szilagyi, and we have one more to go in the first half of the final. Barbora Mokosova of Slovakia. 12.6 in qualification, the 5th best. The 26-year-old two-time Olympian. Switch leap mount with a little wobble for adjustment. Powerful free walkover. Nicely executed back tuck. I've said it many times, but I shall continue to say it because it's true. There's a very assured quality to watching Barbora Mokosova. She exudes a confidence in her gymnastics. Fights gain at a dismount. Another of those athletes who's finding her best form later on in her career.
Now the second group of 4 finalists will have 2 minutes, 1 judge for each. So you may start.
Let's have a look back at this display from the veteran Slovakian.
A sada Tina Zelcic, pozdravite jednim velikim pljeskom. Tina, kako se osjećaš ovdje praktički doma pred domaćim publikom?
Evo, zadovoljna sam svojom vježbom, jedino po kvalifikacijama, ali dobro, zadržala sam sve elemente i hvala svima što sam došla.
Veliki pljesak za Tinu još jednom. Bila je trkača Tina Zelcića, Christina Zwicker se tu priprema. Ona također nastupa u finalu ženske grede. Idemo do druge Tine, kratko se osvrnuti na 4 finalistice koje su iza nas.
Pa ja bih nekako svog iskustva rekla da sad kreće panika. Naime, kad su već prve 4 odbačice odradile i kad vidite da su to ocjene koje one mogu dostići, da je bio jedan pad, sad kreće malo taj psihološki aspekt onoga što si vidio i što si si glavu nekakav presin stavio ili ne stavio i sad će to sve biti pokazano. Imamo jedno jako...
12.7 for Barbora Mokosova. She improves upon her qualification score by a tenth, a crucial tenth that sends her into second place at the halfway mark, just ahead of Tina Zelcic on 12.666. So that is your podium at the halfway mark. And one has to say that it is hard to imagine that anyone has got the numbers to displace Georgia Godwin on 13.9. Oh, she just looks like she's having the time of her life every time she competes at the moment. Barbora Mokosova brings a certain joy to the world of gymnastics. And this is what the second half of the beam final is bringing you. We start with Poppy Grace Stickler from Great Britain. Another Croatian gymnast, Christina Zwicker, the third best, Stickler the fourth best in qualifying, and then the second best, Naomi Visser, to come. So we've still got some way to go in terms of understanding the journey of this final. We finish with Elisa Hämmerle.
Warm-up is over, so please continue the competition.
Poppy Grace Stickler of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the next to go. Just a little adjustment with the mount. Wasn't that nicely performed? Real power. She's got such potential, this young athlete. Good routine from Poppy Grace Stickler of Great Britain. Already an international medalist from the Northern European Championships and the Copa World Challenge Cup. We'll look back at this display from the young gymnast from Cardiff.
Lako je nekad ovdje ovako stati sa mikrofonom i govoriti da, malo nesiguran ulazak, malo slabiji doskok i tako dalje, ali ovi najjednostavniji elementi koji možda po ocjeni jesu takvi, za nas lajke su nevjerojatno teški. Evo primjerice ovo što je napravila, kako se to zove?
Increasingly, there is a sense of authority to the gymnastics of Poppy Grace Stickler.
Bazirano je sve sada dosta na plesne elemente, tako da sada stvarno ovako nam atraktivno je za vidjeti kad vidimo pogotovo povezana dva salta na gredi.
Ono što je uvijek lijepo vidjeti, to je podrška ostalih natjecateljica, dakle tu u gimnastici ima jedne zdrave konkurencije u smislu da se međusobno
potiče, da se Welsh head coach watching on. 12.6 for Poppy Grace Stickler. So she's in 4th position, virtually the same as her qualification score, where she was the 4th best. Now to the third best, I should say, in qualification, Christina Zwicker of Croatia. A 20-year-old from Zagreb. This is her first World Cup final since Mersin in 2021. She's an undergraduate at the Zagreb School of Economics and Management, studying a business and mathematics degree. Oh, very nicely executed side aerial. Well controlled free walkover. Wolf jump also had composure to it. Oh, this is going well. Back handspring layout, step out, similarly composed and impressive looking. Just got through the wolf turn. There was a slight sense maybe of the foot dragging across the beam, but splitting hairs. Dismounts wonderfully. She's done a lot of work with a sports psychologist in the last couple of years to overcome those difficult mental blocks that she's faced in her career. She's spoken about it very maturely and very articulately. She's evidently an exceptionally bright individual, both academically and emotionally. That was a nice display from Christina Zwicker. It's a very interesting routine because difficulty-wise, much like Mokosova, it doesn't compare to the top performers, but she doesn't really give a huge amount away. The highest execution score so far has been Mokosova.
Veliki pljesak još jednom za našu Kristinu. Stigli su rezultati. Na kraju 4. mjesto Christina Zwicker.
12.666 for Zwicker. She's in 4th position, the same score as Tina Zelcic, but 1/10 up on difficulty, 1/10 down on execution. To Naomi Visser of the Netherlands, 12.733 in qualification, the second best. So could she displace Barbora Mokosova, who is on 12.7 as things stand? Georgia Godwin is guaranteed at least a bronze medal, and probably more. She will likely have a little difficulty cushion over Mokosova. That is a contending performance from Naomi Visser of the Netherlands. Her difficulty in qualification 4.8 compared to the 4.4 we've seen in this final from Mokosova and the 4.6 from Zelcic.
I osvajačica ekipne brončane medalje na Europskom prvenstvu 2018. Bila je četvrta na Europskom prvenstvu ove godine na tlu i peta na svjetskom prvenstvu, isto tako na tlu, a s obzirom da se nije kvalificirala u finale vježbe na tlu, željela sam vam to sada reći.
Just one to go.
Dotaknut ćemo se nastupa Naomi, vratimo se na naše cure. Tina i Christina imaju istu ocjenu, ali nisu na istom mjestu.
Pa u slučaju da je ista konačna ocjena, onda se gleda ko je imao bolju izvedbu. U ovom slučaju mislim da je Tina imala manju početnu ocjenu, što je rezultati, znači zapravo bolju ocjenu izvedbe, čim su imale istu konačnu. I eto jedno objašnjenje zašto sa istom ocjenom kako to suci razdijeli.
Sada se dotaknemo dakle i Naomi, jučer je pobjedila na dvovisitskim ručama, danas jedan isto također dobar nastup.
Jedan dobar, solidan nastup, ona također jako elegantno izgleda, to izvedba će biti vrhunska i mislim da je odradila bolje nego u kvalifikacijama, je bilo malih nesigurnosti.
Does Naomi Visser feature in the final calculations? We've still got one to come, but certainly she would expect to be in contention after that performance.
Gimnastikom se bavi od svoje 6. godine, a željeo je sudjelovati na olimpijskim igrama iduće godine, dakle 2024. godine. Odlična višebojka, čuli ste njene rezultate. Tina, evo kratko, dakle, dosta višebojaca ovdje u muškoj i u ženskoj konkurenciji.
Tako, evo i ocjena.
12.666. Naomi Visser is in third position. We'll just come back to the tie-break criteria in a moment, because I think we've got two gymnasts deadlocked for bronze. Visser 2/10 down in difficulty from qualification. So Zelcic and Visser in joint third place. One to go, and it's Elisa Hämmerle of Austria, the 27-year-old from Lustenau in the west of the country, based in Amsterdam. 8th best in qualification, 12.366. She has 2 World Cup bronze medals on beam, from Baku in 2016 and Sombatay in 2018. And her other World Cup medal was a bronze on the uneven bars in Anadia in Portugal over a decade ago. It's a little uncertain. How good it is to see her back. Elisa Hämmerle of Austria brings to a close a very entertaining balance beam final at the Osijek World Challenge Cup. Her return to international competition. The Olympian from Tokyo.
Istu ocjenu, na istoj su poziciji. Christina također istu ocjenu, međutim ona je poziciju ispod na 4. mjestu.
Pa dogodilo se to čim dijele 3. mjesto, znači imaju istu početnu ocjenu, imaju istu ocjenu izvedbe, imaju istu konačnu ocjenu, tako da se to ne može razdijeliti.
Može li Elisa tu poremetiti malo planove?
Pa iskreno nisam sigurna, to je bila ok vježbica uz jednu nesigurnost, ali koliko je težinski jaka ta vježba, mislim da je dosta jednostavnija vježba, a opet je korektno odrađena, tako da ćemo morat se strpiti.
Ajmo još jedan veliki pljesak za sve naše finalistice.
Samo moram najaviti da ćemo malo počekati proglašenje pobjednice jer imamo provjeru rezultata. We have an inquiry, so we'll have to wait with the award ceremony.
Možemo i ovo objasniti provjera rezultata, o čemu se to radi?
Pa opet se radi vrlo vjerojatno o početnoj ocjeni i to je kod grede jako teško, naime kad se rade ove veze, plesno-akrobatske, samo akrobatske, to možda dovoljno se ne vidi iz publika, ali sutkinje točno znaju kad je upitno nešto za priznati. Tako da, evo, pričekat ćemo.
Watching on, the four gymnasts poised to be on the podium. However, from what the arena presenters have just said, it seems we have an inquiry in progress. Not clear exactly who it's for, but one imagines, and forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, that it's for Naomi Visser. She was the gymnast who went before Elisa Hämmerle. And as I mentioned, Visser scored 4.6 for difficulty in the final compared to the 4.8 that she was awarded in qualification. Round of applause given by the crowd for Tina Zelcic and Christina Zwicker. It's an uncomfortable wait this for Zelcic to see whether she's actually going to be on the podium. Meanwhile, Elisa Hämmerle has a long wait for her score, but if anybody is able to cope with a long wait, it's her, because the patience that she has displayed in her career is remarkable. .633. And Elisa Hämmerle finishes sixth. Now we'll just wait to confirm these medals because we haven't heard that the inquiry has come to an end yet. Tina Zelcic is currently in third position, along with Naomi Visser, but we're just waiting on the classified results. If Naomi Visser's score does go up, then Zelcic will drop into fourth position. We have the classified results in the balance beam competition. Joint bronze medals for Croatia's own Tina Zelcic and the Netherlands' Naomi Visser, with Barbora Mokosova taking the silver medal and Georgia Godwin winning it at a canter. A brilliant performance, a world championship winning level performance from Georgia Godwin. The victory ceremony for the balance beam competition at the Osijek World Challenge Cup of Artistic Gymnastics.
U disciplini greda. Award ceremony for balance beam. Medalje će uručiti gospodin Mato Lukić, zamjenik župana Osječko-baranjske županije. The medals will be presented by Mr. Mato Lukić, Deputy Prefect of the Osijek-Baranja County. Treće mjesto i brončanu medalju dijele predstavnice Nizozemske, the Netherlands, Naomi Visser, i so the bronze medal is shared by the representatives of the Netherlands, Naomi Visser, i Hrvatske and Croatia, Tina Zelcic.
Joint bronze medalists, the Netherlands' Naomi Visser and Croatia's Tina Zelcic. What an excellent spell for Tina Zelcic. 2 international medals in the space of a fortnight. And for Naomi Visser, a great competition that she's having after taking the uneven bars title yesterday.
Drugo mjesto i srebrna medalja, predstavnica Slovačke. In the second place, winning the silver medal, representing Slovakia, Barbora Mokosova.
On the subject of people having an excellent season, Barbora Mokosova of Slovakia with a silver medal. And that added to her medal in the uneven bars competition yesterday. Five medals in her last 4 World Cup competitions.
Prvo mjesto i zlatna medalja, predstavnica Australije. In the first place, winning the gold medal, representing Australia, Godwin.
But this was simply stunning. The first performance of the final, and frankly it was won right then and there by Godwin. 13.9 her score. This is a gymnast who keeps getting better and better. An outrageously difficult routine, performed superbly. She wins it by 1.2 marks. She made it look easy, and it was far from easy. We'll have the national anthem of Australia.
Please stand for the national anthem of Australia.
Advance Australia fair played for Godwin. And there they are, the medalists in the balance beam competition at the Osijek World Challenge Cup. The women's floor competition is the last event for women at this Osijek World Challenge Cup, and the top performer in qualification, guess who? Godwin of Australia. She'll be the last to go. She might well have the last word. Interesting competition this, because the top 3 in qualification are the last 3 to go in ascending order. We start with Elisa Hämmerle of Austria. The gymnast who's made her return to international competition for the first time since the Olympic Games.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica Kanade. Second finalist representing Canada, Clara Raposo.
Clara Raposo of Canada, 5th best in qualification. This is her first time in a competition governed by the International Gymnastics Federation.
Treća finalistica, predstavnica Turske. The third finalist representing Turkey, Ceren Biner.
Ceren Biner of Turkey, the gymnast who won a medal on floor at the World Student Games last year, the World Schools Championships, to give it a better title.
Fourth finalist representing Australia, Annabelle Burrows.
Australia's Annabelle Burrows. We saw her on vault yesterday in her first ever international final. Looks like a very accomplished young gymnast.
Peta finalistica, predstavnica Norveške. The fifth finalist representing Norway, Mari Kante.
The Norwegian Mari Kante, 7th best in qualification. Two-time medalist at the Northern European Championships.
Finalistica, predstavnica Nizozemske. The sixth finalist representing the Netherlands, Slout.
From the Netherlands, Slout. The gymnast who was 3rd best in qualification. She has never won an international medal. She has. She won a big one.
Seventh finalist representing Canada, Danelle Pedrick.
Canada's Danelle Pedrick, World Championship bronze medalist with the team last year, and the same accomplishment at the Pan American Championships earlier that year. She has been a national medalist on floor. She was the 2nd best in qualification.
Godwin.
And will finish the competition with the best in qualification, the Australian Georgia Godwin, who has bags of difficulty and some rip-roaring tumbling. She won the floor title at the Tel Aviv World Cup last week.
Prve 4 finalistice imaju na raspolaganju 2 minute za zagrijavanje. The first 4 finalists have 2 minutes one-touch warm-up time now. You may start warming up.
The touch warm-up time begins.
Evo nas, dakle, stigli smo I do finala ženskog partera.
Women's floor competition in Osijek at this prestigious World Challenge Cup competition.
Osnovna razlika između muškog I ženskog partera je to što u ženskom parteru je glazba.
In the first half, we have the 4th best in qualification, Annabelle Burrows. But everyone that finished higher than her is in the second half of the competition. As I mentioned earlier, we go 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 6th, 7th and 8th in this final, so that should be very interesting actually. The range of marks between 2nd right the way down to 8th is just over half a mark, 0.6, but the gap between 1st and 2nd, Godwin and Pedrick, 13.833 to 12.9, virtually a full mark. So we'll see how that pans out in just a moment or two when the competition gets underway. Wonder how she's feeling. Clara Raposo, her first international final. She did appear in an invitational competition in a place called Jesolo in Italy in March. She made the floor final there, but at full international level, this is a new experience for her.
Tu su naravno I neke favoritkinje, no finala ne praštaju, to smo naučili, tako da ćemo vidjeti kako će se sve raspasti.
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds.
A od tih zadnjih 10 sekundi ponovno da čujemo vas, pljesak za finalistice ženskog partera.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molim da počnete s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over, please start the competition.
We begin this women's floor final with Elisa Hämmerle of Austria, 6th best in qualification, a score of 12.566. And if she can avoid the out-of-bounds penalty that she had in the qualification round, she could get herself into contention. Pirouettes and tumbles, backflips and twisting, international finals and Olympic dreams. Those were a few of her favourite things. Elisa Hämmerle of Austria, returning to World Cup competition and looking thrilled to be part of it all. Just get the sense of an athlete for whom the weight has lifted off her shoulders as a result of making it to Tokyo.
Koji se dobro snašla da ne dobije odbitak, ali što se tiče početne ocjene, to će se svakako reflektirati. Jedna moderna vježba bez puno akrobatskih dijagonala sa svim zahtjevima i mislim da je korektna i izvedba, tako da će ovo biti sasvim ok ocjena koja će konkurirati jer sve ostale moraju isto sve i plesne i akrobatske elemente još uvijek napraviti bez pada i većih grešaka.
Second final of the day for the 27-year-old. She's always said that she wants to be different because of her artistry, to set herself apart from the rest of the crowd. Evidently enjoys performing on floor and has done for years.
Puno je pravila tako da stvarno u 90 sekundi sve pokazati i uvijek idealno nije lako.
12.166 for Elisa Hämmerle. Drop of a few tenths from qualification. The main thing there is she's lost 3 tenths of difficulty. Clara Raposo from Canada, the 18-year-old from Toronto. What a great moment for her, her first time in an FIG competition. She's a strong performer on floor. With a spring in her step and delighting the crowd, Clara Raposo of Canada. She's going to be attending the University of Utah at some point in the not too distant future, and one suspects that her style on floor will play very well in the collegiate system of the United States of America. It's exuberant, it's characterful. You can just imagine a big NCAA competition and this sort of work. It'll be a good match. She's yet to win a national championship medal at a senior level, but lots of junior success for Clara Raposo.
I zato postoji odbitak. To sve ulazi u tu artističnost u kojoj se puno priča i na tlu i na gredi, koja u zadnje vrijeme radi stvarno velike razlike među natjecateljima. Meni je jako žao što nema ovdje u Osijeku ove godine naše Ane Đerek, dvostruke olimpijke i zapravo one dominantne na svjetskoj rang ljestvici na tlu i na gredi, ali eto, zbog ozljede ne vidimo ove godine, nadamo se brzom oporavku.
Pljesak za Anu Đerek. Nadamo se naravno brzom oporavku, a Clara Raposo dobila ocjene i ide na prvo mjesto.
Well done to her on such a good display. 12.666, a small improvement from qualification. And any time a gymnast goes into their first senior international final and steps up from the preliminary round, it's a great sign. This is Ceren Biner from Turkey. 12.3 in the preliminary round, the 8th best. She was the bronze medalist on floor at the Gymnasiade, the World School Championships in Rouen, Normandy last year. It really is so nice to see Ceren Biner blossoming in terms of her confidence as a gymnast. One imagines that placing 6th in Europe on vault in her home championships in Antalya will have had an enormous impact upon her confidence and that sense of belief that she deserves to be in international finals. She looks about a foot taller in stature since those championships.
Ali mislim da prava akrobatika tek slijedi i to će suci naravno nagraditi sa većom početnom ocjenom.
Što se tiče same izvedbe, vidjeli smo ove neke elemente koje naravno rade u zraku, nešto dalje od same linije, jer se prijestup sankcionira, tu se gube bodovi, ali gube li se bodovi ako se sam element izvede dosta daleko od linije, jer to je puno sigurnije nego da se izvede puno bliže linije.
Ne gube se nikakvi bodovi, međutim nitko ga ni neće toliko daleko od linije izvesti jer opet treba nekakav zalet. A tu je zalet kroz 2-3 koraka
Currently, Clara Raposo leads on 12.666. Bina's execution in qualification was 7.5. She's having a wonderful time, the Canadian, in this Osijek World Challenge Cup, especially after that performance. .266. Jelen Bina goes into second place. So at the moment, everyone's difficulty has been down a fraction from qualification. This is Annabelle Burrows of Australia, fourth best in qualification with a score of 12.7. Performed well in the vault final. This has to be regarded as a really good international debut weekend from Annabelle Burrows of Australia. The gymnast who trains at the Sydney Academy of Gymnastics. Time for a well-earned rest.
The second group of 4 finalists have
Let's have a look back at this display from Annabelle Burrows. Now, she had a 4.8 difficulty score in qualification, same as Jelen Bina. We've just seen Bina get a 4.6. Hämmerle down by 3/10. Clara Raposo, the only gymnast actually to match their difficulty score from qualification, and Raposo was the lowest scorer in terms of difficulty of any of the qualifiers.
Evo, čekamo naravno rezultate. Kada se osvrnemo na ova 4 nastupa, na 4 finalistice, Tina pričala si već o tom ritmu koji je vrlo bitan u koji natjecateljice uđu u same vježbe. Ritam je na finalu partera zaista dobar.
Tako je, vidjeli smo sigurne, poprilično sigurne izvedbe, nismo vidjeli još padove, tako da tek smo na pola puta, ostale cure već znaju rezultate, treba sad izdržati do kraja.
Stigli su rezultati za Annabelle Burrows.
12.333 for Annabelle Burrows, 4.6 for difficulty, down from qualification. So overall she loses almost 4/10, but she finds herself in the silver medal position.
Još 30 sekundi, 30 seconds left to warm-up.
Ulazimo polako u završnu fazu ovog finala ženskog
A good old chat with Clara Raposo about what has just been. And we have the second half to come. Marikanta, Floor Slout, Danelle Pedrick and Georgia Godwin. Marikanta, a gymnast from Norway with a score of 12.433 in qualification, the 7th best. But if she gets that here, she will go into the silver medal position. It's a second World Cup competition of the year for Marikanta of Norway. She's been a medalist on floor at the national championships. Nice performance from the 19-year-old from Bærum in the southeast of the country, which is particularly famous for its winter sports scene. So many Olympians have come from that part of the country. It was a performance that choreographically gelled with the music. There was some secure tumbling. Sometimes the landings were not quite as they have been when she's performed this in the past. The whole thing does hang together as a piece of gymnastics set to music appropriately.
Inače, Marikanta, rođena 2003. u Norveškoj, sudjelovala na svjetskom prvenstvu u Liverpoolu prije godinu dana. A evo, stigli su i rezultati. Peto mjesto za Marikanta.
12.066 is the score for Marikanta. So she's in 5th position. She's down by about 4/10 from qualifying. Now to the top 3 from qualification, one after the other in ascending order. This is Floor Slout. 12.866 in the preliminary round. This was very well performed. Some very accomplished tumbling on show from the 16-year-old floor Slout. She did have two slightly tricky landings, one towards the end where she was quite piked and bounced back up off the floor, and then one where she bounced out. But there's some good difficulty in this performance. Starts with that straight-legged variation of the front attitude turn. That was impressive. Change of momentum, change of direction, well performed, well controlled. Just a small move out of bounds there for a 10th. And this was the end, coming out of the tuck position, didn't quite get the level of rotation right. But it's encouraging gymnastics. You have to remember she's one of only two 16-year-olds in this final. We've got somebody coming at the end of this who's got 10 years of international experience on her. Dutch team watching on.
Evo sada nastupa dakle u finalu ženskog partera, inače na Gredi 2019. godine osvojila prvo mjesto na nacionalnom prvenstvu u Nizozemskoj, dakle još jedna više bojka.
She was part of the Dutch European Championship trials process and the World Championship trial process last year. 12.733. A new leader, it's Floor Slout, and she has just won her first ever international medal in the process. Because with 2 to go, she's on the podium. Brilliant from Floor Slout. Now Danelle Pedrick of Canada, the second best in qualification with a score of 12.9. Silver medalist on floor at last year's national championships. That is the work of a very experienced tumbler in Danelle Pedrick, the 24-year-old from Brandon, Manitoba. The graduate of Central Michigan University, where she was twice the Mid-American Conference Gymnast of the Year. This weekend has been her first international competition since the World Championships, but she did appear at the Canadian Championships last month. And her form has been terrific over the last year. She tumbles well.
Ritmova, mimike, svega, mislim da je sve na mjestu i vrlo vjerojatno će zadnje dvije cure odlučiti o medaljama.
Čeka nas dakle napet završetak ženskog finala na parteru. Danelle Pedrick, inače 99. godine rođena u Kanadi, sportom se počela baviti s 2 godine, što se evo naravno vidi i na ovom nastupu i općenito na rezultatima. Koliko predan rad, trud, koliko ta disciplina u sportu na kraju ipak poluči rezultate. Želja je sudjelovati na olimpijskim igrama 2024. u Parizu, a sudeći po onom što je pokazala danas u Osijeku, taj san bio se mogao i ostvariti. Danelle Pedrick, stigli su rezultati, first place.
We have a new leader, 13.3, Danelle Pedrick, the execution up from qualification along with the difficulty for a gain of 4/10 of a mark. Pedrick could be about to take her first World Cup title. But what about Georgia Godwin? 13.833 in qualification. The top performer. The level at which Georgia Godwin is currently working is extraordinary. The performance that she gave on the balance beam was tremendous. This routine is full of exemplary tumbling. There is a brilliant mixture of composure, self-belief and pure gymnastic skill about this athlete. Very slightly overcooked that, nothing too major. She's exceptionally powerful, but she is also fluid and graceful. It's an incredibly difficult balance to get right as an athlete on floor. Both men's and women's artistic gymnastics, to have elegance in power is something to be absolutely treasured.
hobi zanimljiv, vrtlarenje, čitanje i ići na plažu, a evo, očigledno i baviti se gimnastikom. Osim engleskog priča i japanski, a kao i brojne natjecateljice ima dva sna.
Pedrick leads on 13.3.
Nastupiti pred ovom divnom osječkom publikom.
This is the last score to come in.
Na olimpijskim igrama iduće godine u Parizu. Čekamo sada rezultate i time zaključujemo polako nastupe na...
It's already going to be her best result in World Cup competition after the bronze that she secured on vault yesterday.
Tina, završna ocjena cjelokupnog partera. Cure su bile vrlo koncentrirane i jako dobro su izdale svoje mješte.
Clara Raposo who's waiting. She's currently in third place. Watching on, members of the Australian team, including Mitch Morgans. She's taken it by a 10th, 13.4. It's another title for Georgia Godwin of Australia. The vault, the beam and the floor one. Oh, and by the way, she finished second on the uneven bars too. An outstanding competition for a gymnast in peak form. And it's quite a long peak, this, from Georgia Godwin. It started a while ago, it's still going. The classified results in the women's floor competition. Her first ever international medal for the Netherlands floor Slout. She takes bronze. Danelle Pedrick of Canada wins silver and gets her best ever World Cup finish. And Georgia Godwin makes it 3 out of 4 gold medals in Osijek. A stunning weekend. And you wondered, could it get any better than Tel Aviv last week, where she won 2 titles? The answer, yes. The victory ceremony for the women's floor competition at the World Challenge Cup in Osijek.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednica u disciplini vježba na tlu. Award ceremony for women's floor. Medalje će uručiti gospođa Jasenka Crnković, zamjenica gradonačelnika grada Osijeka. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Jasenka Crnković, Deputy Mayor of Osijek. Treće mjesto i brončana medalja predstavnica Nizozemske. The third place winning the bronze medal representing the Netherlands, Slout.
Slout of the Netherlands, the winner of the bronze medal, her first ever international honours. A moment to remember for the rest of her career. And as she looks at the gymnast standing with her on that podium, she can reflect upon the fact that it is likely to be a long career.
Drugo mjesto i srebrna medalja predstavnica Kanade. In the second place winning the silver medal representing Canada, Danelle Pedrick.
An in-form gymnast in Danelle Pedrick. Somebody who, as she approaches her mid-20s, is achieving the best results of her life. And this, her best result in a World Challenge Cup event.
Na prvome mjestu osvajačica zlatne medalje predstavnica Australije. In the first place winning the gold medal representing Australia, Georgia Godwin.
The champion, Australia's Georgia Godwin. 3 out of 4 gold medals at the Osijek World Challenge Cup and a silver medal on the uneven bars. A stunning competition. And we will hear once again Advance Australia Fair played in honour of Georgia Godwin, the star attraction of Osijek.
Dame I gospodo, slijedi himna Australije. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Australia.
A sada nam slijedi muško finale u
The medalists in the women's floor competition in Osijek.
Pa ponovno pripremite i svoje dlanove i svoje glasnice za naše drage finaliste koje ćemo vrlo brzo upoznati.